everyone, my name is Katie Carson. I am the soap artist and Duchess of Suds here at Royalty Soaps. Today's creation is another Alice in Wonderland inspired soap, or more appropriately, Through the Looking Glass, and it's called Jaberwocky. For those who have been around here before, you will probably notice that the camera setup and the background looks a little different. I have been doing my best to research and take online classes for DSLR photography and also videography. I have been using Skillshare to do that, and speaking of Skillshare, they are sponsoring today's video, which I'm just, oh, it makes my heart so happy that I get to partner with such a fantastic company that I truly believe in. I think they are offering an invaluable service to all creatives in the entire world. They're essentially just a great big online school, a school for everything, for design and finance and any sort of creative art you could possibly think of. The classes are put together by people who know their stuff. They are industry experts, they've been doing it a really long time, and they're willing to share their secrets with you. Now, I have a link down below so that you can get 2 months of Skillshare Premium for free, you guys, for free. So test drive it, see if you like it. If you, again, are a creative type person, they have got something for you, and there are things that you didn't even know you needed to know on Skillshare. i.e. that making vanilla buttercream is not just as simple as throwing stuff in a bowl, or that watercoloring is actually doable for most people. And if you enjoy the next 2 months with Skillshare, it's really, really affordable, less than $10 a month. So big thank you again to Skillshare for sponsoring the video. Be sure you check out the link down below, guys, if you would like to check them out. Get yourself in on some educational classes. And without further ado, let's make some soap. For today's soap, we begin by pouring our lye water solution into our oils. I'm pouring down the stick blender to help avoid air bubbles in the soap. Everything is at room temperature, which for me is right around 76 degrees Fahrenheit. So now I'm gonna mix this up on high until just past emulsion. Emulsion being achieved, I am now gonna split off my batch into 3 equal portions. And after I have the bulk majority in all the containers, I'm gonna scrapey my big container, and we'll set it off to the side because we're not gonna use it again for this soap. The batch being split now, I'm gonna add the colorants that I have pre-mixed with oil. The first one is really red mica. This is from Nurture Soap. This is my favorite red. It makes a really true red soap. Not a wine color, not a berry color, not a brick red, just like a bright cherry red. I'm also gonna do a little bit of antique silver. This is from TKB Trading. It is a lovely silver, and of course in soap it goes matte, so it's actually a really nice neutral gray. And finally, also from TKB Trading, we have some black oxide that I have blended with oil because it doesn't thicken oil as much as it thickens water. It turns into a really weird paste when you use water to get this colorant diluted before adding it to soap. So recently I have found that I prefer oil, and now we're gonna blend in the colors from lightest to darkest. Now the reason I picked the fragrance oil and the colors for this is twofold. Number one, I wanted a Valentine's Day soap that was a little more earthy, smelled like amber. It wasn't so fruity, it wasn't so frilly. I wanted something with darker, more neutral colors, so no pinks. And then of course the Jaberwock is a creature. It's kind of described and always illustrated as being kind of a mix between maybe a sea monster and a dragon. So we are using Dragon's Blood fragrance oil from Nature's Garden, which I feel pulls all of this together perfectly. This does discolor slightly, so I expect that these vibrant colors will, you know, be a little more muted and stuff, which is kind of what I'm going for. Like I said, earthy, kind of amber, sort of sandalwood. That way for Valentine's Day, we have something that kind of appeals to the whole spectrum. I'm gonna start by blending this in by hand, and let me tell you guys, This is your quintessential Renaissance Fair fragrance oil. If you think of the incense, you think of the perfume oil sold there, maybe the soaps, body lotions, and just the general smell of the air at a Renaissance fair. That is what this is. Patchouli, sandalwood, amber, vanilla. Light on the vanilla though. That's kind of like a base note, sort of anchoring it all together. And I know that this is going to be one of Caleb's favorite soaps he's ever poured because what are your two favorite colors, Caleb?
Purple and green.
Uh-huh. It's red and black.
Sure.
Sure? Have you changed your mind since we last discussed favorite colors?
I mean, like, I'm 24, so I don't have, like, favorite colors, you know?
Liar!
I feel like that's for, like, children.
Oh my gosh. Fragrance oil blended in, let's start pouring into our large slab mold. The first color I'm pouring in is black. Everything is pretty liquidy, which I think is great. It's gonna make it easy to work with. I'm just gonna pour randomly all over the mold. Some of the colors will end up melding, some of them will stay separate, and by the end of it, it's just gonna look awesome.
Yeah, it looks like a kimono or something.
Yeah.
Like a really pretty Asian print.
I'm just, again, pouring in circles and around. I'm not going in like one particular line for a drop swirl. And I'm pouring from different heights too, so this is gonna be really interesting by the time it's done. Now I'm just taking the extra that I have left and I'm just pouring it all over the top of the soap. This is gonna take me a while, but I like to get every little bit out. Hey, big strong man, you wanna tap this down on the ground for me?
Yeah!
So I'm gonna leave this alone to thicken up for maybe about 5 minutes, and then I will come back and put some dragony texture on the top. So for the texturing on top, I have my favorite spoon. And by the way, if you are a human without a favorite spoon, you're missing out. Go find one. And I'm just gonna gently dab in, just like so, all the way down this first side, and then we'll move on a little bit after I've done it. So you can see it has this little lip that I've created. So we're gonna go in over the lip again. We're gonna squash that lip down and make another little indented line, just like so. Squash the little lip, and then you'll see I've made another little lip. So we're gonna go all the way down the whole mold, just squashing down that little pointy bit and making the next line. And by the end of this, it's gonna look kind of like scales. Not a whole bunch, and actually the best way to create scales, if you're interested, now this is a low top soap, so that's why I'm doing it this way, but if you really wanna create scales, you get a piping bag and you do it that way. But this definitely gets the point across. It still keeps all the colors relatively separate, so you can see that there's a gray and a red. Kind of looks like you're making a cowlick in the soap over and over and over again. So you guys can see the difference looking at this top versus this bottom part. One of them definitely looks more scaly. For those of y'all who have never read either Alice in Wonderland or Through the Looking Glass and are wondering like, where was the Jaberwock in the movie? Well, the movie is Alice in Wonderland, and the Jaberwock is in Alice Through the Looking Glass, which is a different book. Lewis Carroll wrote 2 books with Alice in it, and the Jaberwock is from the second one. And the poem, the Jaberwocky, is like critically acclaimed, which I think is funny because
it's literally nonsense.
Yes.
That's how they categorize it, is it's a nonsense poem.
Yes.
Yeah, and the poem is kind of, there's an abridged version in the new Alice movie that Johnny Depp recites.
So there's the top textured, and I'm gonna go in with my rubbing alcohol and spritz it because we want that red and that black to stay very sharp. We don't want it muted with any sort of soda ash. So throughout the time this sits, I would go in maybe 2 or 3 more times within the next hour or so and give it a nice spritz. But other than that, that's it. We're done with the Jaberwock. we are back the next day to cut the Jaberwock soap. We might just go ahead and call it Jaberwocky though. Jaberwocky is the name of the poem. The Jaberwock is the actual creature itself. I'm just gonna go ahead and clarify. I'm not just leaving Y's off for fun. So I'm gonna line this up with my multi-bar cutter. I'll end up getting 2 samples out of this, and with all the little sample pieces, we put these up in the shop in a little 4-pack for the release. I'm gonna press down gently with my multi-bar cutter. I'll remove a middle piece, and this is what it looks like on the inside. So that red and the black and the gray all looks pretty vibrant right now. It may discolor a little bit over time, but for right now, looks real nice. And then on top, we sort of have the scaly dragon effect. Also, I love the drop swirl that was just done manically, not in straight lines. No 2 bars are gonna look anything alike. They're as unique and individual as you are.
Hey, how's it going? There we go. That should be your beginning sound every time. Yeah!
Welcome to Royalty Soaps.
Shut up! Enough!
Have you got a question of the day?
Yeah, let's steal that from Smosh. Shut up! Remember when that was a thing, guys? You're probably too young to know.
Honey, you know most of my people are like between the ages of...
They're old! You're too old for Smosh then. Never mind.
Caleb joins us with a question of the day.
Would you rather email an embarrassing email to your entire company or eat an entire stick of butter? So, this is like, for you, this has got to be like real embarrassing. Like, you wouldn't want to look the rest of us in the eye for like...
He's saying that because all of my company is just my family who basically knows everything about me.
Yeah. But let's just say...
Oh my gosh, this looks like dragon eyes with a nose. Tell me y'all don't see that. Do you see the nose? Here's his nose, and here's his little eyeballs.
Oh gosh, yeah.
That is awesome! It's so freaky, I love it. Also, it makes a little heart down here. I love you, I'm your little dragon friend. But butter's so gross, Caleb. Nobody wants to eat a whole stick of butter.
I love butter.
Caleb does this voice where he... Why is the real question. This is his Paula Deen voice, and she doesn't sound anything like it, but he says it's her attitude.
Just put some butter on it.
Oh!
You know how to make a sandwich, you just put 2 sticks of butter in between 2 donuts. And there you go, there's a butter sandwich.
Oh, gross. I don't know. I refuse to answer.
Yeah, feel bad for like, I don't know, a couple minutes, or feel bad for a week.
I guess you too would be eating the butter.
Yeah, probably.
How about you, Kenny? This would be more interesting to know Kenny's perspective because Kenny's allergic to milk, so...
Oh, I'm not worried about that butter. Yeah, I think that I take the embarrassing email. I don't think there's a lot that's going to embarrass me, to be honest.
He is being quite honest.
It's very difficult to embarrass Kenny.
But we want to know what you guys think, so to vote on the question of the day, please click the I in the upper right-hand corner of the screen. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, leave us a comment down below. Jaberwocky soap will be available to purchase at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time at February 4th, royaltysoaps.com. This is going to be released with all the other Alice in Wonderland soaps and all the Valentine's Day soaps as well. And once again, be sure to check out Skillshare, click on the link below so you can get your 2 months premium for free. And I will see you guys on Saturday for the next video. It's another Alice in Wonderland themed one. This is probably the most requested one in the comments. I hope you guys absolutely love it, and I'll see you then. Also, before you leave, be sure you do something fun for yourself today, whether that is trying out a new skincare regimen. I am trying out a new skincare regimen. If you want to find out about it, you can go follow me on Instagram. I'll probably post about it there. Or get yourself a smoothie from Smoothie King. I am digging the pre-mama smoothie that they have. It is so delicious. Either way, do something that makes you happy. I mean it, like seriously, go. And see you Saturday. Bye for now. Ew.